Imagine working at a restaurant where the CEO secretly watches everything. What if I told you this actually happened, and the staff got fired for mocking the janitor who turned out to be their boss? Let's dive into this shocking story. The CEO had built his restaurant empire from the ground up, but lately, something felt off. Rumors started swirling, whispers of staff mistreating each other, mocking customers, and even making racist comments. But it wasn't just hearsay. Customers began complaining about rude service, and turnover rates skyrocketed. The CEO knew he had to act, but he needed proof. That's when he came up with a plan. He'd go undercover as the new janitor. Disguised in a worn-out uniform, he walked into one of his busiest locations. At first, it was small things. Eye rolls when he asked where the cleaning supplies were, or staff members stepping aside like he was invisible. But soon, it escalated. He overheard servers laughing about how the janitor probably couldn't even afford to eat here. One employee even accidentally spilled a drink on the floor and told him, "Clean it up, that's your job, right?" The breaking point came during a staff meeting he wasn't invited to. Hidden in the corner, he listened as they joked about his appearance, his race, and his role. "Why do we even hire people like him?" one manager sneered. The CEO's heart sank. This wasn't just a few bad apples. It was a culture of disrespect, and it was spreading like a disease. But here's the twist. The CEO wasn't just hurt, he was furious. He had built this company on values of respect and equality, and now it was being torn apart from the inside. He knew he had to do something drastic, but what? What would you do if you were in his shoes? Let me know in the comments. The CEO's undercover mission started quietly. On his first day as the new janitor, he arrived early, introduced himself to the morning shift, and got to work. At first, the staff barely noticed him. He was just another face in the background, someone they could ignore. But as the days went by, the true colors of the team began to show. It started with subtle disrespect. A server would walk past him, muttering under her breath, "Why do we even need a janitor? Can't he do something useful?" Another employee would accidentally drop trash on the floor right in front of him, smirking as they walked away. The CEO kept his head down, cleaning up the messes, but inside, he was seething. Then came the outright bullying. One afternoon, a group of kitchen staff gathered near the break room, laughing loudly. Curious, the CEO walked closer, only to hear them mocking his appearance. "Look at him," one of them sneered. "He probably thinks he's part of the team." Newsflash, you're just here to clean up after us. The room erupted in laughter, and the CEO felt a knot tighten in his stomach. But the worst was yet to come. During a busy dinner service, a customer spilled a drink, and the CEO rushed over to clean it up. As he knelt down, one of the servers loudly announced to the dining area, "Don't worry, folks, the janitor's got it. That's all he's good for anyway." The customers chuckled awkwardly, and the CEO felt a wave of humiliation wash over him. The breaking point came when he overheard a conversation in the storage room. Two employees were discussing how they'd been stealing from the restaurant, overcharging customers and pocketing the difference. "It's not like anyone's paying attention," one of them said. "Especially not him," they added, gesturing toward the CEO. Each day, the CEO documented everything: the insults, the theft, the blatant disrespect. He knew he had enough evidence to take action, but he wanted to see how far this would go. Would anyone stand up for him? Would anyone show even a shred of kindness? The answer, sadly, was no. What would you have done if you were in his position? Would you have stepped in sooner or waited to see the full picture? Let me know in the comments. The tension had been building for weeks, and the CEO had seen enough. He called an emergency staff meeting, instructing everyone to gather in the dining area after closing. The employees showed up, laughing and chatting, completely unaware of what was about to happen. The CEO walked in, still dressed as the janitor, holding a mop and bucket. The room fell silent for a moment, but then the smirks and whispers started. "Why is he here?" someone muttered. Another employee rolled their eyes and said, "Probably here to clean up after us again." The CEO stood at the front of the room, his face calm but his eyes burning with intensity. He set the mop down, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a small remote. With a click, the TV behind him flickered to life, showing security footage from the past few weeks. Footage of the staff mocking him, stealing from the restaurant, and treating customers with disrespect. The room went dead silent. Then, in a voice that echoed through the dining area, he said, "For the past month, I've been working alongside you as your janitor. And what I've seen has disgusted me." He paused, letting the words sink in. "You've mocked me, belittled me, and even stolen from this company, a company I built from nothing. But the worst part? You did it all while thinking I was beneath you." He stepped closer, his voice steady, but filled with anger. "Well, let me introduce myself properly. I'm not the janitor. I'm your CEO." The room erupted in gasps. Faces turned pale, and some employees looked like they were about to faint. "Every single one of you," he continued, "is fired. Effective immediately. Security will escort you out." As the staff scrambled to process what had just happened, the CEO turned and walked away, leaving behind a room full of stunned silence. What would you have done if you were in that room? Would you have tried to explain yourself, or would you have accepted the consequences? Let me know in the comments. If this story made you think, hit that like button and subscribe for more eye-opening moral stories. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. Please note this story is a work of fiction only for education and entertainment purposes.